Hi, Laura.
Hi,
How are you?
I'm great. How are you?
Fine, thanks. Nice glasses.
Thank you very much.
We have a few minutes,
Yes, we do.
so, and I would like to start to thank you for this opportunity.
Oh, it's my great
Our
pleasure.
our followers from Mundo Películas, World of Movies, are very excited to meet you more, and of course, know details about your projects and experience.
How wonderful. Thank you. It's great to know
You're
I have people in Chile, you know? You never
yeah.
know. I want to go.
Well, we are ready to receive you in
Good.
our land.
Good.
Your amazing work can be enjoyed at across media such as movie, TV series, video games. What's your creative process to write and compose your work? Do you have a system, a methodology?
That's such a great question. It kind of yes and kind of no. It depends on the project. I would say generally, I start at the piano, and I have I have these books. It's so funny because they're really messy. I'm left-handed, and my writing is completely illegible. Nobody can read it. And I have these like these music books that kind of hang around the house, and they're really kind of fun because they have multiple projects in them. So I'll write, the theme for Higher, Further, Faster. I worked on another movie recently called American Fiction. So all those themes are in there. And then there'll be a Ms. Marvel theme. And so the book kind of hangs around for a year or so, with every project. So I often will start at the piano just because there's something really, I've done that my whole life. And so
Okay.
I'll sit at the piano. Then those books of themes make their way over to my computer and my keyboard, my MIDI keyboard. So those books wind up being the source material for all the themes in a movie or a television series. And then generally I write at the computer and input and kind of orchestrate as I go along once I've got that initial material created at the piano.
Okay. So genius people are kind of messy.
Well, thank you very much. I've been told I have genius thumbs. I have these funny little short thumbs. Apparently, they're the thumbs of geniuses. So, and
Well,
dwarfs.
about
So,
the
they're both.
Marvels,
Yeah.
somebody told me you have to compose the entire soundtrack in about 5 days. How
For
crazy is that?
For Ms. Marvel, I did. I mean, Ms. Marvel was a very, very tight turnaround. And I'm used to it because I think in television, you have to turn stuff around quickly. That one was really tough. And I think when I was working on episode 5, which was the partition episode, um, I had to get everybody out of the house. It was out of my studio because it was very, very emotional, and I had to have full and total concentration. Like different kinds of things take different tolls on you. Sometimes something takes a big toll and sometimes it doesn't. That one it was so important, and I felt it was a calling um to try to tell this story as effectively as I could. So that was hard. The Marvels was different. I had much more time, but that also poses its things because you have time to try multiple versions, right? And that's a wonderful, wonderful luxury, I would say, and a beautiful thing to be able to have time to really work out ideas, try different versions, try different themes, see if something works, be able to evaluate your work and say, you know, I think I can do better than that. And I did that a lot of times in this movie, and I loved having the opportunity to do that as well.
Yeah, because you have three characters
Yeah,
very important, and they have the weight in the movie.
yeah.
So you have an experience before in What If,
Hmm.
yeah, in the UCM universe, and of course, there's many things that are not released yet.
Yeah.
So there is a special project that you will like to involve it in the near future.
Oh God, yes. I mean, I would love to come back and do another film for the MCU. I mean, it was the best experience of my whole life. It was great. I loved every second of it, and I fully embrace and love this world. We do have season 2 of What If coming out mid-December, so fans will be able to see
Oh,
us.
that's a sneak peek.
We'll be able to do our crazy stuff again with What If, and it goes to some really wacky places, which I think fans will enjoy. I've got a lot. I've got another film coming out, a wonderful film called American Fiction, which is being released here in the States in December, and I hope you will get down there and see it. It's a wonderful jazz score and a fantastic directorial debut by Cord Jefferson, who was actually introduced to me by Nia DaCosta, the director of the Marvels. So I think it's really wonderful to be able to please the people that I work for, and so they feel comfortable introducing me to their friends for their projects. It's a real honor to be able to work on these things.
It's a real fact when you hear your music that you really enjoyed to compose and write it. That do you grow with reading comics or playing video games?
No, I didn't. I grew up studying classical music and jazz. I mean, I was a very serious kid. I didn't play at all. And I remember in summers from college, I'd come home and there's this one counterpoint book that a lot of composers study. And like other kids would be, like I'd sit on the beach, but I'd be doing like counterpoint exercises. I'd practice piano 5 hours a day. I was like super serious about music. I play more now than I played when I was a kid. So now I enjoy movies. I have a wonderful collection of What If comic books. I've got a lot of swag from the projects that I've worked on. I was just handed a Marvel's Lego set yesterday, which I'm going to really enjoy playing with and putting together.
Okay.
So I think I play more now than I did when I was a kid, but it's a great pleasure to do it now.
This is a compliment, but also a parallel because when you tell me about the piano and the classic influences, I remember about Elton.
Mm.
He starts with the piano
Yeah,
classic,
yeah,
and then he goes crazy about what feelings in her heart,
yeah.
obviously.
And you hear that in his music because it's really constructed. Those songs are constructed. I agree.
Yeah. And comes from the soul and the experience
Yeah.
and the bottom of his heart.
I think
So
every composer brings their unique experience with music to whatever genre they're in. And that's what's so fun even about the MCU, like Ludwig Göransson, fantastic composer. He's a great song producer, right? So one of the things that he does that's so cool is that he brings elements of beats and hip hop and song production into the scoring world. I think for me, I bring a lot of elements of classical music and jazz into my scoring work, and which makes it unique in its own way. And that's what's fun about listening to scores by different composers. You think about what their background is and how they bring that to the music that they create.
to the music.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, we love your music, and we see you in new projects in the UCM. So thank you for your time.
Thank you
It's
so
very
much.
constructive. Our followers will be happy to view and hear this interview.
My pleasure.
So
Thank
thank
you.
you.
Thank you so much. Bye bye.